Midrash on Parshas Yisro, when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to receive the Torah, the Malachim wanted to hurt him, to destroy him, to stop him from receiving the Torah. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? עשה לו הקדוש ברוך הוא קלסטרים של פוניו של מוישה. הקדוש ברוך הוא made the face of Moshe דומה לאברהם, to resemble the face of Avraham Avinu. Omar lo im HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to the Malachim, I atem mizbaishim imenu? Aren't you ashamed? You want to hurt him? Don't you recognize him? That's the one you came and you ate by him. You should be ashamed of yourself to want to hurt him. Then the Malachim Take stopped and they didn't hurt Moshe Rabbeinu, and they let him receive the Torah. Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe, Lo nitno lecho Torah elo b'zchus Avraham. Moshe, the Torah has been given to you because of the zchus of Avraham. Shene'emar, as it says in the Pasuk, Lokachto matonois bo odom. You have taken gifts because of Odom. And who is the Odom? Here, that refers to Avraham. It says about Avraham, Ho Odom agodoil bo anokim, the great man amongst the giants. This is the Midrash. So what does the Midrash say here? That in order that Moshe Rabbeinu should receive the Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to disguise him. He should look like Avraham Avinu. Otherwise the Malachim would have burnt him. They would have hurted him. And that's why we say that the Torah has been given to Moshe Rabbeinu b'zchus Avraham. Lokachto matonois bo odom. You have taken matonois, that is the Torah, bo odom. Because of Odom, Avraham Avinu, who is called Odom agodoil bo anoki. So this Midrash is the Midrash Rabo on Parshas Yisro, Parsha Chof Ches, is very strange to understand, very hard to understand. What's the pshat? I mean, how can you fool the Malachim? If you want to disguise someone in a different person, you can do that for people like us. If someone disguises himself, I might be taken, I might be fooled by his appearance. I might make a mistake. That's not that person, it's a different person. But the Malachim, you can't fool the Malachim. The Malachim can recognize that is Moshe Rabbeinu, and that is not Avraham. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the face of Avraham look like, the face of Moshe to look like Avraham. How can you fool the Malachim? And then there is another question. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to stop the Malachim from hurting Moshe Rabbeinu, he has got different ways how to stop them. The Malachim cannot hurt Moshe Rabbeinu if HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want them to hurt him. A Malach cannot do anything on his own. He is completely under the order of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So why has HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to go to such a trick? He has to resort to such a trick to disguise the face of Moshe Rabbeinu like Avraham. So like all the Midrashei Chazal, it can look like a nice story. When you tell it to children, they'll be quite happy, they'll even have a laugh about it. But behind this story, there is a very deep lesson. What is it? So I think we have already spoken once in this year. It says in Bereshis, after Odom Rishon had made the Chet, it says in the Chumash, Vayashken HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the Keruvim to guard the way to the Gan Eden. Vayashken Eloikim mikedem leGan Eden es HaKeruvim ve'es lahat hacherev hamisapeches, and the sword of flame, lishmoir, to keep, as derech eitz hachaim, the way of the tree of life. And Chazal, Yalkut Shimoni, on the place, explains, lishmoir as derech, to keep the way, that means zu derech eretz, that is derech eretz. Eitz HaChaim, of the tree of life, zu Torah, that is the Torah. Mikan, from here we learn that derech eretz kodmo la Torah. Derech eretz precedes the Torah. So when we read this midrash, at first view, we don't understand it at all. Lishmoich, to keep the way of the tree of life. From here we learn that derech eretz kodmo la Torah. It doesn't make any sense. To keep the way of the tree of life, HaKadosh Baruch Hu forbade Odom Rishon to return to the Gan Eden because he might take from the Eitz HaChaim and he live forever. And from here we learn that derech eretz kodmo la Torah. The derech eretz precedes Torah. What does it mean? And then the Midrash goes on to say, 26 doires kodmo derech eretz la Torah. 26 generations derech eretz preceded the Torah. What does it mean? That means that after the Chet of Odom Rishon, man had to wait 26 generations in order to be able to receive the Torah, to be roi, to be suitable to receive the Torah. 26 generations of preparation in derech eretz. What does it mean? So we explained it that way. Rashi says, why didn't HaKadosh Baruch Hu want Odom Rishon to eat from the Eitz HaChaim? After Odom Rishon brought into himself the Yetzer Hora by eating from the Eitz HaDaas, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu should have told him, should have encouraged him, now Odom, go and eat from the Eitz HaChaim. Because Eitz Chaim is Torah. Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim bo v'samcheo meusha. Chazal say, Borosi Yetzer Hora, Borosi Torah Tavlin. I have created the Yetzer Hora, the evil inclination. Borosi Torah Tavlin. And I created the remedy for the evil inclination. And what is it? That is Torah. So we don't understand why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu forbid Odom Rishon after he ate from the Eitz HaDaas to go and eat from the Eitz HaChaim, from the tree of life. On the contrary, The tree of life is Torah. Now is the time. Now is the time for Adam Rishon to go back to the Gan Eden and eat from the Eitz HaChaim in order to cure himself from his evil inclination, which he brought it into himself. So Rashi brings there on the Pasuk, Ve'ochal v'chai le'olam, if he'll eat from the Eitz HaChaim, zu Torah, which is the Torah, he'll live forever. Rashi says, when he will live forever, he'll think he's a god. And he'll make himself an idol. And he'll try to convince other people to believe in him, that he is an idol, like we found. Paroi, Nebuchadnezzar, Hiram, Yoash, all these kings who thought themselves gods. So in order to avoid that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, now that you ate from the Eitz HaDas, you're not allowed to eat from the Eitz HaChaim. You are not suitable. You are not suitable now to receive the Torah. Better that you don't receive the Torah yet. Better that you go out and live like in a very low way. B'zeh yasapecho teichal lechem. Novo not yeboretz. You shouldn't have many mitzvahs. Just Sheva mitzvahs b'nei Noach. And later on, slowly, you'll be able to pick up. The Oves HaKadoshim will come on the scene. Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, the Shvatim, the Shibud Mitzrayim, the servitude and the sufferings of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, will make it so that you'll be prepared to receive the Torah. And then when the time will come at Har Sinai, the Torah will be Eitz Chaim, a tree of life, but not poison. Because now you'll be prepared with the Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz Kodmo la Torah. That's why Derech Eretz Kodmo la Torah. Translate Derech Eretz by perfection of character. That's what Rab Simcha Zissel translates it. When you say Yofe Talmud Torah in Derech Eretz, Torah is beautiful with Derech Eretz, and all the Rishonim translate, you have to have a job, you have to have an occupation, a profession. Together by learning Torah comes Rabbi Simcha Zissel, and he explains, I don't understand, how can that be a guarantee that a person will not sin? Because the Pirkei Avos says, Yofe Talmud Torah im Derech Eretz, she'igia shneim mashkach hasovam. A person works in both, in his job and in Torah, it will forget him to do a sin. Mashkach hasovam. It will stop him from doing a sin. So comes Rab Simcha Zissel and he asks a question, I don't understand, says he. How can just by learning Torah and by having a job, that will be sufficient for not doing a chet? And he explains, Derech Eretz means Tikkun HaMidos. Tikkun HaMidos, that means to perfect one's midos, one's traits of his character. Now we see from Chazal here, that's exactly what they say. They say the danger of Adam Rishon, why he was forbidden to go back to Gan Eden and take from the Eitz HaChaim at that time, because he was not prepared. He had not reached that perfection which needed 26 generations of history to come to achieve. At that moment, Adam Rishon would have eaten from the Eitz HaChaim. There was a danger, probably, surely, he would have gone worse than before. He would have thought he is a god. So says Rashi. That's the pshat. Derech Eretz kodmo laTorah. Don't think that the values of Torah are absolute. Torah, which is the Eitz Chaim, that depends on the person who occupies himself with Torah. For what purpose does he receive the Torah? For the sole purpose of perfecting his character and come to Shleimus, to become a better person, to improve his character, to do good around him, to do chesed around him, to improve people, to improve himself, and to try to improve others as well together. Then it is a Eitz Chaim. Then it is a tree of life, in its real sense. But take a person who is full with bad midas, with egoism, with self-pride, importance, and give him the Torah. Not only it will not be a Eitz Chaim, but it will become a Eitz HaMoves. It will become a tree of death. The same Torah. That's what we learn from here. Be'emes Chazal say, Sam Chaim, Sam HaMoves. V'sam Tom, V'sam Tem, es Devor HaYele, Al Levavchem. The Torah is a Sam. It's a medicine, but it can become a poison. Sometimes a medicine also can become a poison. One has to be careful. One has to prepare himself. The Gaon of Vilna said that Torah is compared to rain. Yarov kamotor likri. Why is it compared to rain? Because rain is life. Yes, but it depends where it falls. If rain falls on wheat and it makes the wheat grow, you have bread. It's life. When the rain falls on poisonous herbs and trees, then it makes death. It all depends where the rain falls. So says the Gaon of Vilna, the heart of a person can be watered by Torah. But it all depends, what have you got in your heart? If in your heart you have got good things, good midas, you have got chesed, you have got charity, goodness, humility, kedusha, holiness, then take the Torah. The Torah will water your heart, and it will make all those good midas grow, and they'll become beautiful. They'll bring beautiful fruits. But if in your heart there is egoism, there is pride, then the Torah, the same rain, will make you a worse person than before. And we have got many examples in the Tanakh to illustrate that point. We have got a Koirach, we have got a Yerovam ben Nevot, we have got an Achitophel, a Doego Adoimi, and many others. To illustrate that point, it is true, it happened. There is a midrash about Achitophel that when the tzaddikim, after their death, they go to Gan Eden, they have to bypass the gates of Gehinnom. And when they see Achitophel sitting in Gehinnom, they get scared. Why? Because they say, oh, such a tzaddik, such a wonderful tzaddik is in Gehenna. What will be on us? We have no hope to reach Gan Eden. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu calms them down, tells them, wait, don't be afraid. I'll show you what this person did. I'll show you his deeds. And he shows them, to the tzaddikim, the deeds of Achitophel. And then the tzaddikim are calmed down and they are happy again. What's the pshat? Achitophel in Gehenna, he looks like a tzaddik. How can that be? It shows to what extent the great values of Achitophel, which Achitophel had in his neshama, not just in his body, in his brain. He had wonderful qualities of Torah. He was the head of the Sanhedrin. But because he was smitten with this bad fault of gaive, of pride, he did all those horrible deeds which he did, and he sits in Gehenna. En lo chelek lo olam haba. He has no portion in olam haba. He cannot go in Gan Eden. But his appearance, even in Gehenna, is so great that all the tzaddikim will be surprised. They'll say, "Oy, gewalt! Oy, such a tzaddik in Gehenna. What hope have I got?" And you know what? The Midrash says, all the tzaddikim will be surprised. That means, even now that they know the secret, we learn it from the Midrash. But it's not like seeing it. We won't recognize Achitophel. We'll see a big tzaddik like that. Phew, who can that be? Now you see what Torah can make of a person. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to wait 26 generations of Yisurim, of suffering, of Nisyonis, to perfect man in the Klal Yisrael. Odomatem, you are man, as it says in the Novi. And then the Yidden, when they came to Har Sinai, Vayichan Yisrael negedohor, they were ready to receive the Torah. Then the Torah could not become a poison anymore, because they had achieved a complete shleimus hanefesh, a perfection of character, which made them suitable to receive the Torah. And that's why we say Vayichan beli pirud, beli machloikes. They were all together, mamish, in a complete union, keish echad, belev echad, because they had there cannot be any pirud, any quarrel in such a situation when the Klal Yisrael were ready to receive the Torah. And therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the one who was going to receive the Torah from Min HaShomayim, he also had to be up to it. It's not for nothing that Moshe Rabbeinu was chosen to receive the Torah. He was somebody special, Moshe Rabbeinu. He was special in his chesed. The first things we read about Moshe Rabbeinu, Vayetze elechov, Vayar besivloisom. He was a prince in the house of Paroi, and he came out and he looked at the tzores of his brothers. Vayar besivloisom. And he looked at their sufferings. And Rashi says that when he saw Yidden pulling a chariot full of bricks, he used to help them together. He was noise be'oil. He associated himself in the tzores of the Yidden. He didn't hesitate to kill an Egyptian who wanted to kill a Yid, with all the dangers involved in that action. He had to run away. That was the first description of Moshe Rabbeinu. A good shepherd for the Klal Yisrael. He was the one who was picked up because he had that midah of chesed, of Avraham Avinu in himself. And also, he was an onov. V'yoish Moshe onov me'oid mikol odom asher al pnei adom. That's what the Midrash wants to say here. When Moshe Rabbeinu came up to heaven to receive the Torah, so the angels wanted to hurt him. Said, what? You want him to receive the Torah? He's not ready. He's not ready. The Torah will be perverted, Chas v'sholem. The same as up to now. You did not want to give the Torah to the world because of the Chet of Adam HaRishon. And man is not perfect enough to receive the Torah. He's going to pervert the Torah. So we oppose. We don't want him to receive the Torah. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? He changed the face of Moshe Rabbeinu into that of Avraham Avinu. That means he showed to the Malachim the Midas HaChesed, which Moshe Rabbeinu was outstanding in that Midas HaChesed. And he told them, you are not ashamed to want to hurt that person from whom you had Achnosas Orchim. He invited you to eat at his table. Recognize the midah of Avraham Avinu in Moshe. It's not a trick to fool them. It's not a disguise. No, on the opposite, on the contrary. He showed to the Malachim the real midas HaChesed of Avraham Avinu in Moshe. And then the Malachim retracted. And that's what the Pasuk says. Kibalto lokachto matonois bo odom. Matona is the matona of the Torah which was given to you, to give to the Klal Yisrael. Lokachto matonois bo odom. Because of Odom, because of the schus of Avraham Avinu. Odom agodel bo anokim. Moshe, you should realize that the sole schus which you had to receive the Torah Mehar Sinai, to give to the Klal Yisrael, and through the Klal Yisrael to the whole world, was in the sole schus of Avraham Avinu. Midas HaChesed. As we say, V'toiras Chesed al Leshoino. Torah's Chesed. Torah is Torah of life, only when it's a Torah of Chesed. When it's a Torah for sich, for his own purpose, for his own interest, to boost his own interest, his own gashmias, it's not a Torah shel Chesed, and it's not a Torah of life. It's not a Torah's Chaim. We'll see later on, in Chet HaEgel, when Moshe Rabbeinu is up on the mountain, in the middle of receiving the Torah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells to Moshe, Lech red, go down, ki shiche samecho, because your people is corrupted by avodah zarah, by doing an idol. So Rashi brings Chazal, go down from your greatness. Moshe, you have lost your greatness. Lech red migduloscho. Go down from your greatness. All the greatness I gave to you, Moshe Rabbeinu, was only for the Klal Yisrael, to give it over to the Klal Yisrael. Now that at the receiving end of the line, the Klal Yisrael have been destroyed, they are destroying themselves with avodah zarah, you, Moshe, you have no point anymore. You have no purpose. Red migduloscho. We see from here that the sole reason for the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu was only because he was the middleman between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Klal Yisrael, to give over the Torah to the Klal Yisrael, to the Yidden. If there's nobody at the receiving end, then you have nothing to do, Moshe. Red migduloscho. Go down. You can go back to be a shepherd again. Shepherd for the sheep. The Torah which Moshe Rabbeinu received, the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu, was only in order to give it over to the Yidden. Chesed. The Torah Moshe Rabbeinu received from HaKadosh Baruch Hu was in order to give it over to others. If there's nobody to receive it, there is nobody to give it over to. There is no need to give it to you either, said HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Moshe. Because Torah is Torah's Chesed. I once heard from Rav Dessler himself, Zecher Tzadik Libroch, who said that, and it's written in Mechtam Eliyahu also, that a person who takes upon himself, undertakes to help others, even if in the beginning, before he undertakes that goal, he has no power, he has no brains, he has no strength, he has no time. is not suitable at all for this achievement, for this goal. But if he undertakes it because he wants to be a help for other people. He wants to do good to other people. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will grant him koiches, powers, above his nature. That means, even if in the beginning he didn't have enough koyach, he doesn't have power, he doesn't have brain. Some people, sometimes you tell them, give a shiur. Why don't you give a shiur? And they answer, I have no brains to give a shiur. I cannot give a shiur. I never gave a shiur before in my life. But it's not the right attitude. Go, give a shiur. Maybe the first shiur won't be so good. But you'll see, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help you because you're undertaking a good cause. If you undertake a good cause, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will grant you siyata dishmaya, will grant you powers above, much above the powers you had before, because it's l'mayla min hateva, it's above the natural way of things. And he said this about Moshe Rabbeinu. And we know that Moshe Rabbeinu was kvad peh, kvad loshen. He said, I cannot speak. And Moshe Rabbeinu was going to be the teacher of the Yidden. Moshe Rabbeinu was going to teach the Torah to all the Yidden. And he could not speak. And HaKadosh answered him, I am the one who make people speak. Minos ampele ile. I am the one who gives brains. I'm the one who gives money. I'm the one who gives power, koiches, strength. No, you say like you have koyach. I have no strength. Oh, I have no strength. I'm tired. I cannot do anything. Now you cannot do. Now, because you are not undertaking anything. But try to undertake something. And then you'll see, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you koiches. That is Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu said at the burning bush, at the Mare Asneh, he said, Hineni, Boine Shalom, here I am. What does it mean, Hineni? I am devoted to your orders. You want me to go and save the Klal Yisrael from Mitzrayim. Hineni, here I am. I am to your orders. The Midrash says, Moshe, you answered Hineni. I'll also answer to you Hineni. When you will ask me in your tefillas to forgive the Chet HaEgel, or when you'll ask me anything to answer your shaile, which you don't know the halacha, I'll also tell you, Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm at your orders. Hineni. You answer Hineni, the Rabbi Shalom says, I also answer Hineni. So that's what the Midrash means here. Moshe Rabbeinu went up to receive the Torah, and the Malachim did not stop him until HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed to them that the sole purpose of Moshe Rabbeinu to receive the Torah was not for himself. The sole purpose, the sole kavanah of Moshe Rabbeinu was to receive the Torah, to give it to the world, to give it to the Yidden, for others, Torah's chesed. He changed his face in the face of Avraham Avinu, and he showed the midas chesed of Avraham Avinu. If you want to receive in order to give, yes, you'll receive. If you want to receive, you beg from the Rabbeinu Shalom, give me, I want for myself, you won't receive. I heard once from Reb Chaim Zaychik, he gave an example. It's like a pipe of a heating system, like we have, yes, in central heating. The pipe goes from the boiler. In the boiler, it boils, it heats. Now if you close the pipe down there, the radiator, you'll see slowly all the pipe which comes from the boiler will cool down because there is no exit. It's blocked. When you open it, it will warm up. He said that example, a man is a pipe. At one end there is the Rebbeinu Shalom, he gives to man. He gives him life, he gives him health, he gives him money, he gives him koiches, brain. He gives him everything he needs in order to warm other people, in order to help out around him, to radiate warmth. That's the purpose of man in life. If he blocks it, he wants to retain it all for himself, then he grows cold. Nothing comes in anymore because he blocked himself down here. But if he opens himself up to others, he wants to give. He gives to others. He wants to help others with his koiches, with his money, with his brain. Little brain he has. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will pour in more brain, more money, more koiches. But first you have to open up. That's a pshat here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the face of Moshe Rabbeinu to look like Avraham Avinu. There is a Gemara about there's a Gemara which says one of the Amoroim said to the people of a town, if you want to become rich, honor your wife. Kabdu neshaychu ki eiche de tisaschu. Honor your wife so that you should become rich. Why? Chazal explained, she'ein abrocho shruyo beveiso shel odom elo b'schus ishtoi. The only reason why man has got hatzloche and has got broche in his house is thanks to his wife. It's not thanks to himself, just to his wife. From where do we learn it? Ulavrom heitiv ba'avuro. And to Avrom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him toives ba'avuro b'schus Soreh. Because of Soreh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave good things, toives, to Avram Avinu. Not for his own merit, for the merit of Soreh. From here we learn that en abrocho shruyo beveiso shel odom elo b'schus ishtoi. The broche comes into the house of a man only for the sole reason for his wife. Now the question is, why? Why such a privilege? Why women are so much more privileged than men? Why don't we say the opposite? That en abrocho shruyo beveiso shel odom elo b'schus ha'oish. Why is this, how do you say, racism or... Yeah. The answer is like we just said before. Really, that's on that Maimar Chazal, Rab Chaim Zaychik said the moshel of the pipe. Because who brings parnosa in the house? The man. He has to come and feed his family. So the receiving end of the line, that is his wife, his children. So kabdu neshaychu. Don't keep the money for yourself, he said to those people. Don't put away a knippel. Don't put away a kind of a saving. Just when you need to be mechabed your wife, be mechabed your wife and buy her nice clothes, what she needs, and bring in the house what you need. So in order that you should become rich. And don't be mingy. Because if you are mingy, you close there at the giving end of the line. He thinks, the money is mine. I'm earning the money. And if I give only a little bit, maybe I'll become rich. You see that the cheshbon, the reckoning a man makes? If I block the strings of the purse, then I'll become rich. I will be able to save money. So poor woman, she dresses in rags, and she has nothing nearly what to eat. That's the way you become rich. You are blocking the pipe. Open it. Kabdu neshaychu. Honor your wife. In order you should become rich. So here again we've got this. I remember once I saw one of my talmidim. He was feeling in recess, he was filling one of those pools tickets, to become rich. I told him, a shame for your money, a shame for waste of time. How many chances have you got to become rich? A chance in 50 million. It's impossible. You're asking for a nace. You're asking for a miracle. A nace golui at that. Like Kriyas Yamsuf. So, told him I'll give you a better ace. Go and get married. He's a boy of 20 years old. He's at the age to start thinking about it. Go and get married. So how can I get married? First I have to have my degrees, I have to have a job, I have to have a house. So I told him what Rab Chaim Zaitchik used to give an advice, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, when many times Chassanim, they came to him, and they come also to me to ask the same advice. What shall I do? I want to get married, but I have no job, I have no apartment. So I told him, yes, the Rambam says, a person first have to plant a vine, to build a house, and then to get married. Not like those fools who just reverse the order. They get married without having anything, and then they want to find a job, they want to plant a vine, and then they want to build a house. Fine, you're right. But who tells you what is a house? And who tells you what is a vine? And who tells you what kind of a job you have? I heard from Rav Moshe Schwab, Zichrono Livrocha, when he spoke about that subject, he said, what is a house? A house is a room, which is 4 ames on 4 ames, 4 cubits on 4 cubits. That is a house. It's a bayis which is chayev b'mezuzah. Yivne bayis, you should build a house. I remember when I was in Jerba. Jerba, in the south of Tunisia, there's an island. They've got a flight direct from Manchester to Jerba. on Sunday evening. I went there, it was in the years 1950. I went back 2,000 years backward when I came to Jerba. Obviously, it's not the time now to tell the story, but it was an experience once in a life. When I was in Jerba, then I saw those little houses they have there, mamash like in the time of the Gemara. They have got holes in the walls without any glass. Just holes. That is the window. They don't use glass. I mean, maybe that now they're modernized, but at the time. And they told me that when a chosen becomes a chosen, 10 days before they build the house is built in 10 days. I thought, of course, such a house, you can build it in 10 days. 10 days, a house. And they live very easily, very day to day. Mamish day to day. They go in the morning, they make some business, they earn a few prutas, a few coins, and they bring exactly what they need, a bread, a piece of fish, a melon or something. And next day it starts again. They don't have monthly wages or things like that. So then who tells you have to have a job? Who tells you to have a degree? Who tells you? He used to tell to his Talmidim, Rab Chaim Zaitchik, first you get married. In a room, in anything. Once you be mechabed your wife, you'll see HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you plenty. First get married. Bring the bracha into your house. Once you bring the bracha into your house, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will open up Shari Broche, Shari Atzloche. So when there is in the house, there is a good atmosphere. When in the house there is an atmosphere of ruach, of chesed, a ruach of kavod between man and wife, of doing good to others, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is ready to send all kind of bracha. That's what we can learn from this midrash. So let us take a lesson on this midrash in order to reach Hatzloche, and in order to that the Torah HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give us the brain and the Siyata Dishmaya, in order to improve and to progress in Torah, let us first make that point with ourselves. We want to improve not for ourselves. We want to improve in order to be able to make others improve. To be a keli, to be an instrument, to be mashpia, to try to help other people. When I remember when the Yortzeit of Baba Sali, if you have heard about Baba Sali, the great tzaddik, Moroccan tzaddik, I remember at the first Yortzeit, a year after his Petire, it was in Rennes, near Paris, and they asked me to speak. I told them, you know what we can learn from Baba Sali? We can learn that it is very well worth to become a tzaddik. Not just to be a tzaddik to go to Elam Haba. It is worth it to become a tzaddik in order to cure people who are ill, to help other people who are in suffering and in tears. I've seen myself nisim mamish, which Baba Sali had done, just because he was a tzaddik. When we see a tzaddik, when we witness a tzaddik, we see what he can do. He gives a bracha, and here you have a woman who was waiting for 10 years for a child, and she has a child. And who did it? A tzaddik. Tzaddik goyzer v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekayem. A tzaddik decrees. He gives a decree, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is at his order.